Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. Today, we're taking a look at, from the Age of Extinction line, Deluxe Class Lockdown. I have to say, while being a better figure in hand than the preview photos would lead you to believe, I am a little disappointed in the figure. It does transform into a Lamborghini, as you can see right here. Windows down, by the way. I really can't think of the last time I noticed a transforming car that actually had the windows down. Unfortunately, that leads to some of the issues and the things pegging together in vehicle mode. But starting us off is this giant gun. Now, I haven't seen the movie yet, but apparently this does appear at least once. But I have to say, for the robot mode, and you will see this, it is completely oversized. It is a pressure launcher, and you just pull back and little missile projectile shoots out. One thing I do want to mention that in packaging, um, the launcher is actually pulled back. So what you want to do is go ahead and pull it forward, and you should be able to load the projectile quite easily. It does store in the vehicle mode on these pegs in the back. There's little tabs there. Unfortunately, that's inaccessible in robot mode. Now, just a closer look at the car, we can see that Lockdown has a Decepticon symbol, even though technically it's not a Decepticon. Unfortunately, this is the thing with Hasbro where all Transformers in the United States have to have one of two factions, either Autobot or Decepticon. This is something that I think took away from the Cybertron line and sort of negated the vastness of that story because we had other factions from the different planets. Um, Other than, I mean, if it looks a little gappy, it actually is like that by design. I mean, things are pegged together. It's just there are large panel lines. And to be honest with you, from what I understand, going back to my alternator days, car enthusiasts aren't that big on panel lines. So I'm kind of curious, how this, vehicle does in the real world in terms of sales and popularity. But right there you can see the little Lamborghini logo. So it rolls quite nicely in vehicle mode. So let's pause and we'll get to the transformation. Okay, transforming Lockdown actually isn't that bad. First, what you want to do is come into the rear here and separate the bumpers, and they'll basically swivel out on these double hinges and come down around the back tires. Next, what you want to do, if it didn't already do it automatically, separating the bumpers, is go ahead and separate and bring out the sides of the car, which, if you can't figure it out, will end up becoming the arms. Next, what you want to do is turn the car over, go ahead and grab the legs. Now this is a little tricky. You're actually going to have to really want to hold the car sideways. There are these little flaps here on the side that clip over the hood and roof. So you need to fiddle with those to get them out of the way. And then you can just go ahead and, fold that up in a way in position. And in doing so at the same time, bring down the legs. And then what you want to do is those little panels I mentioned, go ahead and bring them in. Actually, oh, I almost forgot. There is a bit there that this black section pegs it into there. And then something here. Oh, before you fold those panels down, I'm sorry, go ahead, rotate the legs and hips and chest around at this little point here beneath the head. Go ahead, bring the head around. Now, you don't have to rotate the head around. I just do that just because it's kind of creepy otherwise. Go ahead, bring all this up. There is a slot right back here where my thumb is that pegs into a tab, and just doing so, line it up, and it will hold everything in place. Next step is just go ahead, separate the legs at the feet or lower calf, rotate them forward at the knee, flip the feet out. So we have lockdown standing. Yep, you know what, I'm sorry, I did not have that pegged in properly. See if I can get this right. As always, one of the difficulties of reviewing something is you're looking into a camera and it's not that easy to see it through the eye. Finally, what you want to do is go ahead, bend the door in and rotate it around, and that will form the hands. And here's lockdown in robot mode. So, that time it was my fault. I kind of put a little too much pressure on the, you know. Now, here's my problems. I, I mean, like I said, it's better in hand, but the proportions seem to be a little off. This is all leg, and it's a very small chest area. It's almost like he has the gorilla arms, where the arms are much longer than they should be. I mean, keeping the elbows bent is kind of okay. I am also not entirely thrilled that the hands are molded into the door. That can be a problem going forward. What really does it for me is the head here. And let me clean this up just a bit. Oh. It's very organic looking. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would say they scanned the actor's face, voice actor's face, and this was his. Just odd for, it's like a human head on a robotic body. But other than that, you can see there's little blue highlights here, some bronze and gold with the silver, and that very dark gray. And yeah, so articulation is such. Um, there is a universal joint here with a ball joint in the shoulders, so you can get some range of movement there. There is a universal joint here at the elbow, so you can do some rotations, but you're really not going to move much because this panel right here gets in the way. Ball jointed hips, single jointed knee, and slight pivot at the ankles. Like, can hold the weapon in his hand, and as you can see, this makes it quite giant. Some people have complained about their lockdowns not being able to hold the weapon in a firing position due to it being too big and causing it to topple over. I thankfully do not have that issue. The final way lockdown can hold this weapon, which is not mentioned in the instructions, is the gun head mode. As you can see, there are two tabs inside here, this rather open area which fits the head perfectly. The smaller tab is going to slide into a slot right where my thumb is at the top of the robot's head. So getting it in there is a lot easier said than done. Oh, alright, it's in. And yeah, there we go. There's Gunhead Lockdown. It looks silly. I believe the ConstructBots figures and the Creo figures pull this off better than, say, the deluxe figure. It's a bit much if you ask me, but yeah, I understand some people love it. I'm not really that big of a fan of the gun face. Much like Bulkhead, Lockdown is a character from Transformers Animated who has found his way into the mainstream Transformers universe based on popularity alone. While the character in Age of Extinction is very close to its animated appearance, there are some differences, and quite honestly, this toy does not embody the character of Lockdown. While I wouldn't say it's as bad as the One Step, I really think we're going to be surprised by the forthcoming Power Battlers version, as that will probably encompass more and be a better figure to interpretation of the movie Lockdown. In my personal recommendation, I would think you might get more enjoyment out of the small Dino Riders figure as well as the larger Constructbot set with the Dino armor. I got this figure off of Amazon when it was a moment when Amazon actually had these in stock for a reasonable price. This is your old pal Chuck for Lockdown. We'll see you next time.